Let's make some baking powder biscuits for traditional New England strawberry shortcake. The ingredients are simple, as is in most of the case with delicious food. And the tools that you need to use are very simple as well. I'm only using a whisk and a pastry cutter. So we're starting with 3 cups of flour in the bowl, 6 teaspoons of baking powder, 1 teaspoon of salt, a 1/4 cup of sugar. Whisk those around to combine them. And then I'm adding a 1/4 cup of Crisco and a 1/4 cup of butter. And I'm going to cut them in using the pastry cutter. When you use a pastry cutter, the edges, the knife-like edges of the pastry cutter, cut through the shortening that you're using, whether it's butter or Crisco or margarine or lard or whatever, for whatever recipe you have. And you are breaking it down into small pieces. For something like a biscuit, you want to have the fats distributed very well throughout the dough so that it adds to the fluffiness and the tenderness of the biscuit. The baking powder that is in this biscuit is going to cause it to rise, give it loft, make it soft and tender for the strawberry shortcake that we're making. The technique that I've been using for cutting in the fat into this dough is to press the pastry cutter up against the side of the bowl and turn the bowl with one of my hands. Now, occasionally when you're using a pastry cutter, you may need to clean off the knife edges and just take a butter knife and just scrape it and then continue along your way. I've been doing this for about 2 minutes and I have a consistency now that is like breadcrumbs with maybe occasionally a bigger piece of fat in there, but mostly it's breadcrumb-like. Now it's time to add the milk. I have a cup of milk. Actually, it's half and half milk and half heavy cream. And I'm going to pour half of it in, see how it works, and then add more as is needed. Just using a fork, stirring in the milk mixture to moisten all of the ingredients. Needs a little more. Different times of year will impact how much of the liquid you're going to use, depending on how much humidity is in the air. So it really is a guess. I think I'm going to be using it all. Now I'm going to get my fingers into this. What I'm trying to do is to pick up the dry bits that are in the bowl and incorporate them into the total mixture just by doing a little bit of simple kneading against the bowl. You'll know you're done when your dough has cleaned your bowl out and it's all sticking together, even cleaning off your hands. Next, I'm going to sprinkle some flour onto my countertop, spread it out, make my dough into a ball. and then just pat it out to about a ½ inch. I'm using a 3-inch biscuit cutter to make these biscuits. I want a nice big biscuit for delicious strawberry shortcake. I'll be placing them in my 400-degree preheated oven for 10 to 15 minutes, and I'll finish filling up this pan. I've brushed cream onto the tops of the 8 biscuits that this recipe made, and they're ready to go into the oven now. These are large biscuits for strawberry shortcake, probably a little larger than you would normally want to make. So these will probably take 15 minutes in the oven at 400 degrees, generally 10 to 15 minutes. They're going into the center rack of the oven. Let's take a look at these beauties. See how they have raised up? They're light, they're tender. They're going to be perfect for that unforgettable strawberry shortcake that you are going to make for family and friends.